Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy. I'm here with my co-host,
Baker.
Yes, and we are here with the Cold Casuals. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we're excited, and maybe what I'll do is kind of get started by asking you each to introduce yourself individually. And I always start by who got into the classroom first. So Wyatt, tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you came to the band.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, I'm the lead singer, kind of like rhythm guitar. I think I was around like 2 years ago, we kind of formed the band. It was Dylan, Charlie, and we actually met a close friend of mine through Craigslist. He was the drummer actually. So yeah, that kind of came about and stuff just kind of happened, in the future. We kind of went through some changes and then it just kind of went to the three of us. And right now it's just, me, Dylan, and Charlie right now. So
Nice. And how long have you been playing music yourself?
yeah, I think, what was it, guys, like 2 years, I think?
Yeah, the band, but how long have you been playing music?
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah. Oh, I think so I started playing when I was around 18. I picked up guitar and I think, 6 years now. So
Nice. And Charlie?
Yeah, so I'm Charlie. I play bass in the Cold Casuals. Been playing bass probably on and off. I played all throughout middle school. Dylan and I actually had a band in our early years of high school. We did the Battle of the Bands contest at a small town that both of us grew up near, and kind of put the bass down for college. And then as soon as I graduated, kind of got back into it, started playing music with Dylan, and then we met Wyatt about 2 years ago.
Nice. Now I got to ask, what small town did you rule in?
So I went to Detroit Lakes High School. And the Frazee Talent Show was the one that we actually played in, and that's just a neighboring town to Detroit Lakes.
That was my high school. Well, junior high. I didn't quite make it to high school there. I moved, but yeah, we were like right in between those two small towns. So we lived next to each other, but because the school districts overlapped, you kind of got to choose which one you went to. So we were lucky to have that.
Nice. I have many friends from Detroit Lakes. I've actually done
Really?
a fair bit of, yes. I've worked with several resorts up there.
Oh, nice.
Huh?
Great town.
Yeah. And it's great. I'm trying to think of the guy who wrote 6 Feet Under. I mean, there's a lot of talent that comes from Detroit Lakes. So good for you guys. That's nice. And to put down the bass for college, that feels like an unusual choice.
Yeah, it wasn't, I guess it just wasn't something that the friend group that I was in was really into. They weren't really much into music. I went to school in Duluth, so hockey and just kind of outside sports were kind of more priority during those couple of years. So definitely missed it though. So, I mean, as soon as I moved to Minneapolis after I graduated, it was one of the first things I picked back up.
Nice. And Dylan?
I'm Dylan, and kind of the same backstory as Charlie, since we grew up next to each other. Just been playing guitar since I was 14. Actually, Charlie got a guitar first and then convinced me to go get a guitar. Well, my parents bought me one, so that ended up working out for us. But yeah, it's been fun.
Nice. So you guys got together about 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I've seen some of your videos, so I know that you do occasionally play covers, but did you start playing original music right away? How did you kind of slide? Did you say, let's start a band? How did that slide into happening?
Well, I think me and Charlie kind of met up. We actually reconnected. He moved out of the house. We actually moved to the Twin Cities and lived in the same house together. He moved out of the house in with his now wife. And then, I think I field verified a building that he worked in, and I recognized the company and hit him up, and we ended up getting a burger. And he said, "Hey, I miss playing bass at your place. Let's get together." And it started out just covering songs and stuff. And then, down the road, we started reaching out for drummers, met met a drummer, and then through that drummer, we met Wyatt. And then we started focusing on originals after that.
Nice. Nice.
Mhm.
And you just released the first EP?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the
Yep.
first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
In the lobby. I'm just gonna ask, in the lobby. I love that name. Where does it come from?
It's a good question. It's kind of an inside joke with the band. Our practice space was, I'm going to say, when we first started jamming together, it was not the greatest area to play in. And we would always just kind of joke. When we moved to a better space, it had like a little entryway, and we'd always kind of just joke around that was the lobby. So guitar cases went in the lobby. We drank our beers in the lobby, that type of stuff. And then we just, because we thought it was kind of a funny inside joke, we just went with that for the first EP.
That's funny because I refrained from saying, did you call it in the lobby because of Zoom?
No,
Nope.
that's,
Nope.
we can pretend that we did though. We'll sound a lot more fun.
Oh no.
Every other interview from here on out, that's our story now.
That's
for
the
that.
story
Yeah.
to get to it.
Yeah.
It's
Sign of the
great. We'll always know what year it came out.
Yeah.
Definitely, right?
If that's the story. So that's your yeah, that's I love the sound of the band. And I've been wrestling with myself all day to remember Gospel Machine. I'm totally forgetting the name of this band, but you guys have a sound that both Heather and I were saying we really enjoy. And there's a band called Gospel Machine, something with that had there's just this hint of gospel to some of what you do. There's something very soulful about it. No, it's
Yeah. So I mean, I think we all kind of like listen to kind of like same kinds of music. I think Black Keys in general is like one that we can all like levitate around. I think that's how we all kind of got started, just kind of making music to like bands that we kind of liked, and I think it just all kind of went from there.
do you write the songs collaboratively? Does somebody how does that happen?
So it happens, like it can happen that way, or sometimes I'll bring a song and we just all kind of like come together on it. Really, it's
Sometimes. I'm just saying Wyatt comes to us like with 3 songs a week sometimes, and it's just like, oh man, I gotta write riffs now all week. Like it's definitely fun, but he keeps us busy, that's for sure.
Is that true even before COVID?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been staying busy writing songs pretty much the entire quarantine. We went virtual, during the peak of COVID when everybody was, really kind of hunkering down and not moving around that much. Created a Google Drive. Wyatt would throw up a scratch track, and we'd record a bass over it, record guitar riffs over it. Just basically anything we could do to kind of keep the wheels moving for the band. But yeah, there's been definitely a lot of different ways that we've come up with songs, primarily Wyatt showing up with, a melody or a riff, and then a general structure. And then we'll all 3 sit down and kind of hack out the fine details and the structure of everything.
Nice. Do you play together now in the same room? Or
Yeah.
or I guess have you been? I tried to call anyone out today necessarily, but you
Yeah,
are able to play.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all keep our bubble pretty small, so it's a little safer to get together that way. It keeps us sane too, that's for sure.
Yeah, meeting with these guys is probably the only time of the week that I get out is just to go and meet with these 3. So
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely keeps us strong for sure.
You could probably sell tickets to your rehearsals. Some of us are pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We miss music. Just saying. We'll just watch from the lobby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. There you go. Yep.
Wyatt, do you have certain emotions that inspire your writing, or are you all over the board, or?
Yeah, I mean it's everywhere. Like I mean, pretty much anything can inspire me. Like if any kind of like beat, any given time, if I'm at a concert or if I'm just listening to a song on YouTube, just put something down and I'll just go with it. You know?
Easy.
That's amazing. I like the song, the Good Love, because I just find it to be so uplifting.
Yeah. That's probably it's either Maverick Ways for me or Good Love for sure. But yeah, Good Love, I just sat down and strummed an acoustic guitar. Oh, there's a melody. I'll just put the chorus together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
About that, and it just kind of worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen sometimes in rehearsal when we're just here. He'll be playing just a riff he's got, and then next thing you know, and he's singing some gibberish. There's not even lyrics attached to it. He's just making noises with his mouth, and then we got a melody. And then next week he's got a chorus, and then he puts lyrics like that make sense to it. So
That's amazing.
he's got his process down, and it works well.
Exactly.
So long as you all keep up with your homework between the 3 songs a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much gibberish that goes back and forth between like unfinished songs. So I try not to bore them too much. Hopefully, finish like a song with half decent, instead of just like whoa, what's going on here kind of thing.
Nice. And the songs that are on the EP are they pre or post COVID, pre or post pandemic?
So
Post pandemic was very positive of me. P or pre or
Yeah.
during?
yeah, definitely during. We didn't do too much like anything like studio oriented. We didn't really focus on. We kind of just met up at the same place. We had a certain day and a certain time of the day that we got together, and it just kind of worked out like that. We kind of had a goal in mind to get this out because we wanted to get music out because we've been playing for so long, and it's like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Find someone to put it out, and let's just hope and pray that these guys know what they're doing. I mean, we knew what we were doing, I think, when we put the melodies out, and I think we had fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think Just a Little Taste is our only song that was pre-pandemic. That's kind of a staple of ours. It's actually the first song Wyatt ever brought to us, and even to this day, it remains kind of our most solid song, and definitely one of my favorites.
When is the last time you guys were able to play for our other people?
Oh, geez.
Real people now, not just your wives and your. Right?
It was December 28th, 2019. Not that I'm keeping track.
No.
Better than I would have thought. Geez.
Yeah, I remember it being after Christmas and before the New Year, and then we went through a transition phase, and just haven't played a show since because COVID hit 3 months later.
And how much different is it to be comfortable with a song? You used to be able to play it in front of an audience, and then a lot of the material, as you said, is kind of before, since you've been able to be in an audience. How do you do that?
Well, especially with just kind of the different type of genre and feel that we have a pretty diverse catalog of songs, I'd like to think. And, between the three of us, our music tastes are similar, but yet they vary on a lot of things too. But I think once we come up with a song that we all three can really kind of get behind and agree upon and feel like it sounds good, that generally gives us enough confidence to feel like people could probably relate to it or will enjoy it as well. That was kind of a relief actually when we put out the EP. We got a lot of compliments on it and people said they enjoyed it. So that was really all we could ask for.
Nice. Well, I said I found it to be very uplifting, which is very, very needed. The days that I've been listening, I've really enjoyed listening to it because it really does kind of lift the spirit. Many of the songs do it. So thank you for that. It is, and I find it amazing to be able to produce something like that. maybe you guys aren't running as dark as I am during this pandemic.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it was
Okay.
definitely an experience. I mean, we hadn't put anything out on our own, before this, let alone during a pandemic. So definitely, being able to kind of focus on this and putting the songs together and getting things recorded was definitely kind of a nice distraction at times, to have kind of a side project from your, daily work at home and staying at home in all your other free time. So it
Mhm.
was nice to have a project like this.
I hate to say it, but I think we could be considered a pandemic band. I mean, we were playing beforehand, but we kind of went through our transition phase and still haven't played a show yet. And we're actually on our third band name too. So I don't think we've performed live under the Cold Casuals yet. So,
What were the previous names? Now I gotta.
oh man, I opened up that box, huh?
You did.
Most recent was
Social
Night
cues.
Fix. Social Cues, that's right. And then the other one, very first one, was Night Fix, and I think that's just because we had a show coming up and we needed a band name. I'm pretty sure that's why we just kind of settled on that one.
And you never know. It could always change,
Yeah, could change again.
Well, in social cues in 2020 is a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd sell well.
No, that'd be more, yeah, Zoom lessons to get back to how we're mostly connected. Well, I like that because I'm always looking for the silver lining, and to think that you were able to produce. I mean, it's an unusual way to go about it, but do you think you would have gotten this out had it not been? I mean, I guess that's not even a fair question to ask, but it's nice to know that you made the most of the time you had to do it.
Yeah, I think what it all kind of boiled down to at the end, it was like we'd been a band, and it's kind of like, what are we doing? Let's just kind of buckle down, get serious, set a goal, do what we want to do, and maybe like that focus will kind of get us more intact with each other and get us more motivated to play shows and just be a band.
Mhm.
Yeah, at times it was actually kind of nice. We didn't have the distraction of shows or prepping for anything like that. And like Wyatt said, it's just, as far as to keep the wheels moving on the band and keep things progressing forward, this was definitely like the next best thing to playing shows, just because we didn't have that option at the time.
You guys are still cranking out some songs too, I think I saw.
Oh yeah, we got another EP lined up if we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
we're
say
At least.
Bring it. I love your vibe. I love the sound. Please bring some more out. So good.
Thank you.
Hopefully soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are ready. We are starving for, some uplifting rock and good stuff. And if you got this system that you're kicking out so much, you're gonna start your show and have you're gonna be like Pearl Jam when you don't have an opener. You're just gonna play the whole 3 hours.
The 3-hour set. You down for that, Wyatt?
Down for whatever. Just throw it in. Let's do it. We'll do
Have
it.
some throat coat tea and you'll be good to go
It'd be
there.
really, really easy to get shows that way. We wouldn't even have to find an opener. Just
Yeah.
we'll cover 3 hours. We'll do it.
We got 3 hours, maybe 5. Who knows?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you'll probably be able to find openers. Starting back
Yeah.
up, everybody's ready to get out.
Well, I'm sure we'll be the opener.
I don't know. I feel like you got pretty solid here.
And we
Thank
wouldn't
you.
mind either way. Like as soon as this opens up, I think everybody's just hungry at this point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's get out there and let's make some fans.
Hmm.
It's funny. I just think the whole idea of openers, headliners, all of that, I think a lot of that will go.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about the scene that we've played in, even pre-pandemic, was everybody just kind of took turns. Nobody really put a lot of weight on that. It's just kind of honest. One time it switched up on us the night of. It's just who was more available at a different time. And it's just not really that big of a deal.
Yeah. I think often it seems who's got the best childcare is sometimes the answer.
Yeah.
You know, it's things that are,
Yeah.
and as we live more like that, you know,
Mhm.
you know, just our worlds are sort of smaller and we've become more accustomed to, I think that will, and everyone is happy to play anytime, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
the 4 p.m. sign me up, you know. Same.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as this is all, the world goes back to normal, we'll be anywhere, anytime. That's what we're ready for.
Nice.
11 a.m. in a brewery. Sign me up.
Yeah.
We'll play a rock show.
But those probably will be the first ones opening up. You know, those
Right.
it's just unless they move the bar time from 10 p.m. now to a little bit earlier. So
Right.
That's the dream.
yeah, exactly. You said you sort of set a goal to release this EP. Do you have any goals that you're working on now?
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, for like maybe the next year or whatever we have planned for now, we always get together and we kind of discuss our future, like maybe a single or what we want to do. We definitely have like a single planned for, I'd say April is kind of like a reasonable standpoint for us right now. But yeah, we're always trying to make like goals like that, just because if we do that, it'll kind of keep us, where we want to be.
That and prep for live shows, if and when this pandemic comes to an end, we want to be able to put out a good performance live. Right now we're working with a few different drummers, kind of trying to get that whole live setup established. So when the time does come, we're ready to put on a solid show.
Refraining from any Spinal Tap jokes right now. It's got to be different it's got to be interesting to try to bring somebody in during a pandemic.
Definitely.
It's just so you guys haven't been able to play for, I mean, how do you tackle that?
So the other upside to recording, this EP on our own was, so Dylan actually tracked the drums for it. So with recording, you're able to kind of have that full band together when you don't really have all the personnel on board for it. So that was another kind of reasoning why we were able to move forward with recording during the pandemic. But as things are kind of slowly starting to open up, we've been reaching out to closer friends and people that we know that are a little bit more, responsible in regards to the pandemic. And if they feel comfortable, we've been meeting with them just for brief amounts of time. But definitely, it's been a challenge, especially with the way things are right now.
Yeah, because it's one, yeah, because all of a sudden you want to feel like a band.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's one thing to say we play this for our song that we're recording, as opposed to you be part of the band.
Yeah, and then when it comes to playing live shows, having that chemistry and that being comfortable with each other, not only, just playing the music, but also on stage, that's something that you can't really simulate. You just have to kind of do in order to get better at it. So again, hopefully, as things change and more stuff opens and society kind of starts to go back to normal, hopefully we can get back to it.
Yeah. Late summer.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Hopefully. And some places have already, there'll be some modified, I think, performance spaces, that'll be good.
Yeah.
We saw some of that. Did you guys play? Heather and I went to a couple of shows last summer that were modified, I think I saw someone play from a pontoon one time, just.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that's our new goal.
Pontoon show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good show.
Do it.
Yeah, plan a pontoon.
Yeah, no.
The cool casuals.
But no, as far as last summer, we didn't unfortunately get the opportunity to really play any shows. We were still very much just kind of working on the band itself and getting material that we were comfortable playing with. So unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of those stages, or those limited performances. But again, hopefully in the future.
Well, and it was good math to not work on it because a lot of those got canceled. Well, the one on the
Mhm.
pontoon, there were 3 or 4 of them took a pontoon from St. Paul to, where was it, Winona? Something,
Wow.
yeah, played a couple different places. That's, that's a horse of a different color entirely. But,
Yeah.
otherwise, I think of some of the people that thought they were going to play in October and then it went and snowed,
Yeah.
Sure.
or, something, you picked the right math. That's what I'm saying, because you can record, but you just, it was very precarious up until
Yeah. I think
until the music started.
another thing, I mean, right now we're kind of working on, because you never know when it's going to happen, is somebody's going to hit us up for one of those modified shows, say if it starts to get a little bit warmer in March, and I think we're simultaneously trying to just be ready to go. If anybody that we know reaches out and has a show ready for us, I think our goal right now is to be able to fill an hour, at least whenever that may happen. So, because we're looking forward to it. We really want it to happen. So
Yeah.
So you're putting it out there that you will give us what we want.
yeah,
Definitely.
Good to know. Good to know.
Well, and I think we'll see bands at breweries. I think, there are a couple places that are already opening up a little bit. More regular stuff summer, but I think before then. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you've got a single that's coming out. We plan for a single in April.
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of
Yeah.
using the same process that we used for the EP. We're looking at some studio time too, so we're going to get a little bit more legitimate with it this time around. But we're definitely looking forward to putting out more stuff, because we had such a great time both making and recording this last EP. It's something we definitely want to continue doing.
Now, and doing the full production, how many of those skills did you have kind of before, a year ago?
I think like when we got to do this, I don't think we had so much skills in probably like the mixing side and mastering side. We kind of knew what we wanted to hear, melodic wise, I guess. And we kind of put that into what we had an interface, and we, did what I think most people do when they send it to somebody like that. Kind of got together, we listened to it for like nights at a time that we could actually get together and listen to it. And we'd be like, okay, does that work here? Should we put another like percussion part or guitar part or bass part here? And then finally got to a conclusion, and at the end we're like, okay, it's ready to send out to someone. So
nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah, we definitely learned a lot about the recording process on our own by just doing it. I think sometimes with a lot of this stuff, that's the best way, is to just go out and, sometimes you fail and you just kind of keep trying it, or you kind of learn what works, what doesn't, how, what translates in the room as far as what sounds good when we're running through it in rehearsal, as opposed to how you lay it down and how you layer everything. And it was definitely a learning process, but again, it was kind of fun, to just go through, and a nice distraction for all three of us to kind of put in that effort and have our comments and different ideas as to how we wanted it to sound for the EP.
Yeah, and as far as production goes, I don't think any of us were too experienced. I know I'm definitely not. We kind of just came across some equipment, made some moves, and we were able to record the audio in the studio, well, here anyway, in my basement. And shout out to Stefano out in Italy. He mixed and mastered our EP for us. We reached out and found him on Fiverr. So that was very helpful. It was a world of difference. Before that, we had we did put up some stuff on SoundCloud while we were looking for drummers, just to have somewhere for them to go. And the difference between what we got back from Stefano and what we were trying to put out ourselves was an insane difference. So again, shout out to Stefano if he watches this.
And again, just a way that we worked around through a pandemic, as opposed to, going to a physical studio and
Yeah.
having stuff mixed and mastered. Doing it online is definitely, I'd consider it an alternate way of how normally you'd go about it. So, the situation presented itself, and we just kind of handled it in the way that we needed to get the EP out.
And you found them on Fiverr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Love
can't
that.
remember who suggested that website first, but we
think we
did some
kinda just
digging
messed
and
around, yeah.
did some digging and found our guy.
Yeah, just kind of messed around until we found a sound we liked. And we're like, that guy, let's try him. Because eventually it got old and we're like, let's just do it. Why not? What do we got to lose?
Well, that's fantastic. Well, that's when it's nice to have three of you that, as you said, have, overlapping but different tastes. Because you can say, that works, that doesn't work, it's,
Exactly.
and yeah, it's a safe audience to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to the nitty gritty of recording and you're listening to the same song over and over again, trying to get the full band approval, you really start to realize where your differences in taste is. That's for sure.
In a good way, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the songs turned out great, but I think if we've ever butted heads, that's when it was. But it was never anything, crazy.
Yeah, and we established that pretty early on in the recording process. We kind of learned, how to communicate with each other as far as like, oh, that works, or I'm not really feeling that, or whatever scenario it might have been. I actually think it made it better and improved us as a band, because we then took that to these new songs that were coming up, kind of learned how to communicate with each other on that way, as far as like how to convey how we felt about the song, or how to move it forward, and kind of constructive criticism like that.
I think we learned a lot about each other too through that process.
Definitely.
And you came out at the other end together, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Of course.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will make you stronger for the next, for the next music,
Mhm.
just being able to communicate like that from the.
Yeah, I mean, when we do get into a studio and we're on the clock, I think it's valuable that we had to sit in a basement together and try to figure things out the hard way, because now we know what we want and how to get there for the most part once we do get into the studio.
Well, in a funny way to do it at a time when our own time isn't as valuable as it normally is.
Yeah.
We haven't had as much to do. You're not having to wrestle this with getting ready for the next show, and you're not having to do. So you're kind of able to take that, which will save you money and time,
Right.
which is amazing. And you guys meet to set goals. I think you're a well-oiled machine.
We
We
try
try
our
to be.
best. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is also, not everybody gives off that vibe.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Yeah.
all been kind of doing, either open mics or experience with different bands, and we know what works and what doesn't. And I think from our combined experience, all just coming together and finding, again, a group of people that all kind of have the same determination and the same kind of view as to where we want to move forward to in the future. It's pretty lucky when you can come together like that. So it's definitely been a growing experience, but also like a very beneficial experience working with these guys.
And it just sounds like the last year has really been an investment in longevity for you guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. That's been our goal.
Well, and it sounds great.
Thank you.
As I said, I don't hear bands that sound like that a lot. I mean, it's great. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, this sounds just like it,
Yeah, a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, refreshing. Yesterday. I don't want you, I mean, I mean this only, I'm stumbling on my words, but I mean this in the most positive way, where I was like, oh, this
Thank you.
makes, this does make me feel good. And this, you know, it's, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love to hear that. That's what we're trying to do, you know, make people feel good and have them enjoy our music. So that's the bottom line. As long as we can do that, we'll keep doing it.
Right.
You just have to have room on the dance floor for people to move.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah, you think bands are ready to get out there?
Cold kid.
They'll be waiting right there at the front of the stage. No, I'm excited for the day that we can go see you guys play live. I enjoy the videos that you have playing live. It's, you know, it's not the same as being there, obviously, but it's fun to see you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's again circling back to the goals. You know, we always try to be working towards something. Before we recorded the EP, it was those videos. You know, as simple as they are, it was just something, you know, to kind of keep that motivation going. You know, when you run a song a million times, you want to have a reason to be practicing it and getting it tight and making sure it sounds good. And you know, we just pick kind of goals all along the way, and whether it's an EP or just a simple video in our basement, you know, whatever it is, just to kind of keep the wheels turning and keep things moving.
It's amazing. That's the way you do it, one step.
So yeah, Goldilocks giving us the little breadcrumbs there. Or is it? No, Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, whatever. You're feeding us to your goal. Keep it up. Otherwise, I'm going to get more mixed up too.
But I think it's an especially good way about it, so because there is that match of people who miss going to shows, people who miss playing shows, and so we're hungry for the nibbles that Heather talks about, you know, and as you leak them out, we, you know, that helps build a community that you would normally be building, you know, playing shows.
Yeah, no, and hopefully, who knows, like after this, like you never know, like if we come out of this, like who's gonna be there, or when we get to that stage, it's like we can make new fans we never knew we had, and same goes for everybody in this kind of situation. So
Yeah, we're trying our best with content, you know, just because that's about all you can do right now is social media, and you know, reaching out to people and you know, posting content whenever we can, just to try to connect in any way possible during this time. But like Wyatt said, once we're going to start, you know, playing those shows, hopefully we can keep expanding and getting more people to listen to us.
I think. Well, this seems like a good time to ask you now to say out loud for folks who are listening to this. I'll include it in the notes, but where can people find you online?
yeah, so you can find us online. We're on Instagram, Facebook, just the Cold Casuals. That's like the underlying thing you can search for.
Yeah, our music's on all the major platforms, so Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. Again, just the Cold Casuals. We got our EP In the Lobby is out right now, and hopefully we'll be putting some more singles out here in the next couple months.
Nice. And you've got a nice little YouTube channel going too. That's where I was listening to a lot of music.
YouTube. Yep. Good call on that. Yeah, so we'll post our music there, as well as, you know, just some rehearsal videos. We like to throw up just kind of songs, whether it's a cover we're working on or maybe even a new song here and there. So definitely YouTube.
I was listening to some song and I was like, sounds just like Blur.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure what I had him playing on loop while I was working.
Off.
You need a lawyer. You're like, oh, that's so familiar. Oh, okay. Oh, fair. Fair.
We do put up the occasional teaser also of new content. So if you wanted to keep up on that, be sure to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Nice.
Well, I have, and we will, and we enjoy the music, and we've enjoyed having you, and come talk to us from your own living rooms.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. And we'll keep paying attention to see when we can see you guys play live.
Absolutely.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.